So, all right. So, good morning, Eilif.
Good morning,
How are you?
I'm fine.
So, we're going to talk about EdTech. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, and what could you tell us about the buzz around EdTech in the US?
Yeah, it's been fascinating over the years that I've been here in Silicon Valley and seen this thing take off. And particularly in the last 5 years, it's really exploded. And you can see that if you check on Google and see how many hits you get, you see how many accelerators and incubators have been started. You see publications dedicated, like EdSurge was starting 2011. They are publishing a lot of excitement around EdTech.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the? Can you mention some of the most important trends in EdTech for the time being?
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of categories one can look at, but I think, especially if you talk to K through 12, coming up with tools and technologies to assist teachers in the classroom, and of course to help students become more engaged in the learning.
Yeah.
And typically when students are more engaged using gamification and other things, they learn better. They pay more attention. And Kahoots, a Norwegian company, is a good example of a tool that gets kids excited and they learn and they compete in the classroom.
Yeah.
I would say that data also and analytics, using analytics to look at what is happening in the learning process and where are students having difficulty. And that could be K through 12, higher education, also applies to adult learning and corporate learning. So data and analytics is pervasive in all sectors, including education.
I see. So there's a lot of things going on in the startup sector. Can you tell us a little bit about the investors' view on EdTech?
Yeah, and that gets a little more complicated, of course. First of all, the bottom line is that the growth in investment in EdTech has been very surprising to me and been significant,
Yeah.
particularly over the last 5 years as well. Now, of course, as you know, in investment goes up and down, and of the some numbers have recently come out showing that very recently in Q1 of this year, the investments have come down a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been significant growth in investment. And also investors have become more sophisticated over the last 5 years,
Yeah.
understanding the educational sector. But at the same time, I think we need to be realistic and understand that EdTech is still a fairly small part of the overall startup investment sector. And investors who are expecting significant financial return and quick return are not really coming to EdTech as much because it takes longer. We don't have as many, billion-dollar companies and so on.
Yeah.
Exits are not as many and so on. But even considering that, I think there's been a lot of excitement in investment, and it continues.
Yeah.
And it spreads beyond the United States. I have an investor friend who sits in Tokyo, and she expects Asia by 2018 to be a bigger EdTech market than the United States.
Okay. Exciting. So it's growing, but you still have to be a bit patient.
I think so.
Thanks a
I
lot.
think it's very important to be realistic,
Yeah.
not set expectations too high, and then you get disappointed.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Eilif, for that view. Thank you. Bye
Good,
bye.
thank you.
Bye.
Okay, take care.
Bye.